with what's going on right now with Saudi appeasement. And maybe the best way of explaining is like this. Have you ever met someone with a lot of money, I mean a boatload of money, who lost an argument? No, right? Everybody always tends to agree with the rich guy, right? Money talks, and Saudi money seems to talk louder than most. Think about it. The Saudi crown prince, he's suspected right now by U.S. intelligence officials, no less, of conspiracy to murder. Conspiracy to murder the Washington Post editorial writer and Saudi dissident who, it appears, may have been chopped to pieces. Saudis seem to be caught red-handed in this case, and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia today walked into a room amidst all of this that I just described, right? How do you think he was greeted when he walked in the room? You want to see it? Here it is. Watch. Kind of weird, huh, to watch that? I mean, are Western leaders cowering in fear that Saudi Arabia might pull the plug on either their money supply or, even worse, their oil supply, then driving up the cost and starting a worldwide recession in this case? Well, there is one person, one world leader, who seems hell-bent on calling the Saudis out. But this guy's made it his life mission. Anyway, here is Turkey's President Erdogan.
We see that sensitivity, determination, and special transparency is appreciated not just by the family of the victim, but the whole world. We are determined not to let those responsible for this murder, for ordering the execution, to get away with it. As a matter of our responsibility, not just to the victim of this terrible killing, Jamal Khashoggi, but to the international community, judiciary, and justice.
And then there's, of course, Iran. President Rouhani is also no fan. This is undoubtedly putting the United States in kind of an awkward position, defending, in terms of what the Saudis have done, what most people would say seems indefensible. Here is Rouhani.
I do not think any country would dare to commit such a crime without the support of the U.S. A tribal group of people who are governing a country has a security margin. Their security policy is relying on the U.S. This is the superpower who is supporting them. This is the superpower who does not let courts, which are against human rights crimes, enter these fields.
So what about Saudi arms sales? The U.S. supplies the Saudis, as most of us know, with billions in sophisticated weaponry. And while they're in an untenable position, the U.S., other countries are now trying to figure out how they're going to play this hand, right? What are they doing? Some of them, this is important, some of them are actually suggesting they may consider cutting ties. Of course, there's a big difference between what you say you think you might do and what you actually do. Here's Alex Mihailovich with RT America's report.
Well, Germany has joined a slew of other countries who've banned arms sales to Saudi Arabia. This includes Sweden, Belgium, Finland, Norway, and the Netherlands. Now, they've stopped selling weapons and pulled back on any type of assistance that they're giving the Saudis, due mostly to Yemen and other political factors. The Khashoggi factor, well, this is actually something new. This is later than since these people or these countries have pulled back. Spain has also been talking about it, but Spain's been back and forth. They were going to cancel weapon sales to the Saudis, but now it's pretty clear that the weapon sales are going to go forward. Their government's citing jobs. So jobs are more important than what the Saudis are doing in Yemen or other factors that are at play in that part of the world. Now, Angela Merkel, she's been very forceful. Angela Merkel, of course, from Germany. She's cutting about $500 million worth of sales to the Saudis. Germany is the fourth biggest dealer in arms to Saudi Arabia after the U.S., France, and the UK. So this actually is a big move. And what she wants to see is some real results coming out of the Khashoggi case to see what exactly is happening here. And she says if she doesn't see what's satisfactory, well, these arms sales are going to be canceled for a longer period of time, if not forever. Now, France and Britain, as I mentioned, they've come out, they've condemned what's going on. But like the U.S., they're going to push forward. There's a lot of money involved here. And Canada seems to be joining that group as well. We've heard from our Prime Minister, who says that this deal that we have with the Saudi Arabians worth about $14 billion, I should say, signed in 2014 by a prior government, the conservative government, for 720 light armored vehicles. Now, these light armored vehicles are often heavily armed. They're used by Saudi Arabia, and of course, they could be used in places like Yemen and against in Saudi Arabia against their own people. Now, according to Justin Trudeau, and this is one factor here, it's about $800 million penalty that would be in play if we got out of this deal. And Justin Trudeau has said himself, and here is a quote, "I do not want to leave the Canadians holding $1 billion bill because we are trying to move forward on doing the right thing." So the right thing seems to be profit over principle when it comes to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. And it seems that many Canadians do not agree with him, including one of the leaders of an opposition party, the New Democratic Party, who says that we should get out of this deal. But here's even more importantly, an Ipsos poll that was taken just this past August, stating that 84% of Canadians agree that Canada should stop selling arms to Saudi Arabia. Now, that was in August after this Khashoggi case. I wouldn't be surprised if those numbers are even higher. For RT, I'm Alex Mihailovich.
So, you know, this really does come down to those two P words, right? Principle, profits. Profits, principles. Which one do I put above the other? This is an important conversation, which is why we've invited Pentagon official Michael Malouf to talk to us about it.
There's too much at stake. It's like big banks that were teetering back in 2008. They were too big to fail. This is also going to be the case. What you can hope for, and President Erdogan of Turkey has also suggested this and is pushing toward this, is that there be an implosion within the kingdom itself to get the dude out, to get.
All right, but time out. That's great. I'm glad you said that because that takes us to the next round.
Okay.
They have these unbelievable weapons from the United States of America and from the Canadians and from a whole host of countries.
Yeah, they basically bought them.
Okay, so no, but I want to play out your argument, right? You just said maybe there's an implosion. Now, I'm from Cuba. We were always waiting for an implosion in Cuba as well. Never came. But you're waiting for an implosion in the Saudi kingdom. That means the people somehow have to stand up against the Saudi family. As soon as anybody raises their head there, they use this sophisticated weaponry, including spy equipment, that we have given them to mow those people down. Wouldn't they? Or am I wrong?
It wouldn't be the Saudi people per se. It would be elements within the Saudi family itself, because he has upset them to the point where many of them he's absolutely upset the whole apple cart of the royal family.
The Crown Prince's uncle, who he pushed aside.
Exactly, and they don't forget these things, and they harbor grudges for quite some time.
So what you're talking about is a power struggle inside the royal family itself.
Yes, there could be.
And you're thinking that maybe this incredible screw up by the Crown Prince, where he seems to have had, Khashoggi killed, will make people go, this guy's an idiot. He's an amateur. We got to get him out of there.
Right now, they're yielding to the king because he's, in fact, since this episode, has given his own son, the Crown Prince, even greater powers. There's going to be some repercussions from that as well.
So if it's funny, listen to what we're saying here. If there's any justice and if there's anything good that comes out of this that changes the royal family, it won't be because of principles externally from countries like ours or Canada or whatever. It'll come from inside there.
Could come
That's
from
where the
inside.
principle has to come from.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Michael Malouf, thanks so much for being with us.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.